All right. So one of the things that book talks about is that people feel it's what is the difference between an elevated level of an elevated client experience. I don't want to say elevated customer service, because customer service always has a negative connotation. So we talk about the client.
Coleman, which Joey Coleman, and everybody guessed that.
Joey Coleman. That's not what I thought it was.
No,
anyway,
something else. But it's on Amazon, easy to find. You can search for Never Lose Customers.
Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I have it on Audible. That's what I. That's
that might reminds that too.
The only business book I have on Audible is that one. And he tells Joey Coleman. So he tells this story about what makes a good client experience versus an excellent client experience. And he talked about a dentist's office. Now, instead of I know, but instead of he had the best experience at a dentist's office ever. And he talked about what made it good. Now, normally when you go to the dentist's office, you have a bunch of forms you have to fill out. And then you will explain everything about your medical history on those forms and why you're there and what's going on with you and where, get to baseline information there. And then you'll go hand that to someone else and you'll meet with the first person who's going to most likely be your dental hygienist. And you're going to go through exactly that same information that you just wrote on the form. You're going to do it all again in words this time. Right. And then they're going to clean your teeth. And then the dentist is going to come in and meet you maybe for the first time. And then you're going to do exactly the same thing over again. You're going to tell them all your information, bring them to baseline, whatever. You are doing the heavy lifting on basically you as the patient is doing the heavy lifting on getting to know the office staff. And you've done literally 3 times. You've done it for the front desk person who needs the information to input into your file. You've done it to the hygienist that you saw first. And now you've done this for the dentist. If you would have seen 4 or 5 more people, you would have done it every single time. That's a very average client experience, not an excellent one. One of the things that Joey Coleman talks about is he went to this dentist's office. He filled out his form on a tablet. And obviously it automatically populated his information somewhere. And every single person that he interacted with after doing that knew who he was, knew his baseline, knew everything about his medical history. And he just entered into, the way I like to describe it is, you enter into the middle of a conversation instead of starting again every single time, because every single person he interacted with was on the same page. And he didn't have to go explain himself over and over and over again. And I really liked this concept because when we're in our academies, it's too normal and common. Think about this. If you have a new prospect with you, you come in, you do your consultation and then your tour, and then they're going to possibly meet a new instructor at some point. And one of the most important things you can do there is actually relay all the information, or relay a fair amount of the information from the consultation and the conversations that you had during the tour to the coach. Hey, I just want you to meet Wyatt. Wyatt started training with us, or he's taken his first class with us today, but he's actually trained before. He came from, Texas, making it up, Wyatt, but he came from Texas. He was at a school for a few years and now he's here. And most likely the instructor is going to pounce there and be like, oh, that's fantastic. I've been to Texas, this small talk it a little bit. And then I'm going to say something along the lines of what he's looking for is whatever. He's looking for this. I'm going to go on the desired benefits, basically the things that we need to prove to him happen on the mats in order for them to sign up. I'm going to tell the instructor what this person needs to see. 1, because it shows the prospect that I'm listening and I heard their most important things that they're looking for. And 2, because if that instructor, that coach knows this is what this person needs to see in order to sign up, I'm going to make sure those things happen for him today, right now. Okay, those are the things that are forefront in my mind. This is Wyatt. He's trained before. He needs to see this, this, and this for him to join the academy. I'm going to make sure those things happen for him. Okay, so after that, then I'm going to expect another transfer of information after that class. I'm going to expect the instructor to tell me how the class went. I'm not going to make the prospect tell me how things went. I want the instructor to do it. We're going to save that I'm constantly explaining myself feeling and make it happen from the staff as opposed from the prospect. And that makes people feel like they're taken care of. It is not difficult for Paul to tell the coffee lady his coffee order. It is not hard. But it was so cool that he didn't have to do that. That was
I was just like,
literally the first
what
thing.
the hell?
Yeah, but he literally led with that. The first thing, it made a huge impression.
Yeah.
Imagine what it would feel like every time you went into your academy. If the person already was caught up to speed and you enter the middle of the conversation and they don't have to feel like they're constantly introducing themselves. You're the one doing all this stuff for you or for them. This is the kind of stuff that is absolutely mission critical, and it makes the difference between a good customer experience, a good client experience, and an excellent client experience. That's the kind of stuff that gets people talking. If you don't get referrals now, it's this kind of stuff that makes a difference. Let's highlight Paul again. Paul has already raised his cup once and talked about and mentioned the name Starbucks like 3 times, right?
Free advertising, marketing.
Free advertising. Now, Starbucks doesn't need it. That's fair. But if you do that at a local business, you're going to get people talking about you. It takes a hell of a lot to make people give positive referrals. But you do something like this, you're going to get positive feedback. You're going to get positive conversation outside of the academy, and you're going to start getting more referrals. Okay. So this is mission critical here.